Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm going to be demonstrating how to make whole wheat cinnamon raisin bagels. And these are all the ingredients in front of me that we'll be using. And what we'll do to start with is we will pour the 3 cups of warm water into the wheat bowl, and then we have yeast here, and we want a tablespoon, 3 tablespoons of yeast. And we're going to dissolve them in the warm water. 3. Now, we'll just stir that a little bit and then give it time to dissolve. There are some clumps in here, and so I'm just trying to break those clumps out. Alright, now we're going to add the molasses to the dissolved yeast. And we need 3 tablespoons of this. Now this is our second one. Here I have 1/2 a cup of honey, and just a tip is I usually grease the edges of the measuring cup so that the honey doesn't stick to it. Like, see here, it mostly came out. Otherwise it'll usually stick pretty tight. Now we need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon here. There we go. Alright, now we need to lightly mix this. Now we're going to add the salt, flour, and raisins. And we need 1 tablespoon of salt. This is canning salt, but you can use any sort of salt. Alright, then next we're going to do the flour. We have 4 cups here, and in all we need 9, so it's quite a bit of flour. At first it looks like you have too much flour, but then after you mix it all up, it's not actually too much. About 4. Alright, and then we have 1 more cup. So now we have 9 cups of flour. And then we will just mix these in. Alright, now we're going to add the raisins. We have 1 cup of raisins. There we go. Now, as you can see, it looks kind of dry, but once you knead it, it looks better. So now what we need to do is we're going to knead it for 10 minutes. Alright, now I've just started, there's kind of some flour on the bottom, but alright, you can knead it on a table surface too if you want. Just flour it and do it, or I like to sweeten the bowl. I mean, why not? So we don't have to use more flour, and works just as well. And if you're like me who likes to bake, it's very rewarding after you're done making it, because you get to eat it, and like today I'm making this for our neighbors for Christmas presents, and I think they really like it. We usually bake something for them. So I guess we're done kneading it for now. We're going to put a towel over it and let it rise for 10 minutes. And meanwhile, while this is rising, we're going to grease the pans and get them ready so that once this is done rising, we can shape them into bagels. It's kind of tough, but we can do it. Vegetable shortening is usually what I use for greasing my pans. It seems to work pretty well, better than olive oil or something else, you know. So now that this has been rising for 10 minutes, we're going to take it, and we're just going to take about a 2-inch ball and put my thumb through the middle and try to shape it into a bagel. It's kind of hard, but it's doable, and I guess the more practice you get, the better. So all the sizes really vary from everyone because you can't do it perfectly, and whatever size they are, they'll still taste good. So, and they rise a lot. It seems to me when you put them in the boiling water after you take them out, it seems like they rise quite a bit. So you want them to be smaller than when you want them to be done. Now we're putting them into the boiling water, and we're going to let them boil for 2 minutes on each side. Alright, now we're going to flip them now that the 2 minutes is up, and then they'll cook for 2 more minutes and we'll take them out. There. Okay, these you can see from like here, these are not boiled and these are, so you can tell, you know, those I think rose more. And then these, to me, they look like they rise more once they get boiled. Okay, we're going to put these in the oven, and we're going to let these cook for 10 minutes, and then we're going to turn the temperature up to 400 degrees, and then cook for 10 more minutes. Okay, the timer just went off. Now we're going to turn it up to 400 degrees and set the timer for 10 more minutes. There. Now these just came out of the oven. If you could only smell it. Oh, they smell so good. And hopefully I can eat a little bit because I think there'll be enough for the neighbors. So maybe I can have some for breakfast tomorrow. Now these are ones I made a different day, but this is, we like to make them into little things like this and give them to neighbors or relatives or whatever, you know, for special occasions. Like this time we'll make it for Christmas for a friend, for our neighbor, and so I think that's pretty neat. And then all this here is what the batch that I made today made, and so about one batch makes about, well, it depends, like 24, or like these I made and it turned out to be 34. So I guess it really depends on what size you make the bagels. And these two here, they're kind of itsy bitsy, but so I think Karen, the photographer, my sister, and I should eat them. So I hope that you'll really try it and that it'll turn out and that you'll be able to say the same and say that it was worth it. I think it's worth it too. They're so good. I mean, I just love them. And here are some of Sarah's scrumptious bagels that are finished and all wrapped up, ready to go to our neighbors for some yummy Christmas treats.